What's up, superstars? We've got our gang sheet built. I know you guys are excited to see the quality on these transfers, but before we get into that, we're gonna talk a little bit more about the blanks that we're gonna be using today. We're actually gonna be using blanks that we get from Smart Blanks. Now, if you guys haven't heard of them, they're actually located in Anaheim. We first heard about them through one of our customers. They mentioned that they're a very good blank company, but they got really great prices. We haven't got a chance to use them before, but we did stumble upon them at the ISS booth. So if you haven't seen that video that we did with Amir where he goes about their whole product line, make sure you watch that video. But we stopped by the Smart Blanks booth. They gave us a whole rundown of their items, and we got a chance to be able to test out some of their garments that we're going to be using for our crew using these Transfer Superstars logos. So we're going to be able to get all this done and show you guys the quality of the blanks as well as our transfers, and of course the artwork that you're able to get from Kittl. So let's go ahead and take a look at these transfers. Now, I've got a lot of these transfers, but of course I'm not going to be printing all of them. I'm going to choose the best ones that I like, but let's go ahead and cut these out first. Now, you can use a scissor to cut out your transfers, that works, but we're actually going to use our dolly cutter. All right, now before I look at the transfers, I actually created some neck tag labels. I didn't quite make a video on this one, but I have videos where I take the exact same logo, I run it through Kittl, I just add a size label to it. Now, what's good about the Kittl as well is when I was making these sizes, I actually used the same color that was on the template. So you're easily able to know exactly what color it is so that your size tag will match that. So I did it for basically these colors here, or these 6 that I chose. So let's go ahead and get a couple of these cut out. All right, guys, let's take a look at the first transfer design. This one had that ivory effect. Again, really nice work that the AI did. This would be very hard for a graphic designer to manually do this. Too much shading, too much things going on in general, but the transfer is perfect. It contracted perfectly. You're not going to see any of the white come out. So this is a high quality graphic that you get there, and I got a matching neck tag that I'm also going to be putting here. So this is one of the designs that I am going to end up pressing for a shirt, so I'll put that up there. Next design is this one here. This one is the more patriotic one that we did. I think overall it did a really good job. I love the colors. I wouldn't change anything about it. There was 2 options that I had to choose from, but this is pretty good. I'm not going to end up printing this now. I might just save this for maybe July 4th or something to give to one of our walk-in customers, but I did want to share this is how this logo looked, and it did a really phenomenal job of creating this with AI. Now, the next job here is this really popping color that we chose here. Kind of reminds me like a bubblegum flavor, but it is really sharp, and the colors are really bold that it was able to output. A really good one. I think we would have a lot of people that would love this logo. It also contracted perfectly. But I'm actually not going to be using this one today, but I did want to share this is the outcome of this logo. Let me know your thoughts. Should I have saved this one? Now, the next one is going to be a holiday design one. Kind of look like a mistletoe, red, green holiday theme. I did feel like there was a lot of funky letters that were present here. Kind of look like Asian characters. There's one right here as well. But overall, it looks pretty good. These could have been easily fixed with their erase and fill, but I just wanted to see how it turned out. It did a really good job, like super creative to use these areas of the Transfer Superstars logos and make them into leaves. It's just really a good job that the AI did. Now, let me know your thoughts. I'm not going to be using this today, but I did want to share this. This is the next design. Kind of did like a glitter pattern, glitter theme. Yes, it's not real. This is not not real glitter, but I think it did an overall decent job at creating it. It wasn't the most sharpest image. I'm wondering if I could have enhanced it some more, but for what it did pretty well. I could have went with either a black or a white color t-shirt for this one, but because there's a lot of dark colors already, I'm gonna go ahead and use a white color. I think that would help and work with this shirt design here. So this is the design, and I used the exact same design and made a neck tag with it. I did it in black just to match the white shirt that we're putting it on. So that's going to be the next candidate. Now the spooky one that we chose here was that Halloween design. I think this did a really good job. Very creative with the little pumpkins here. It's not perfect. You know, this one kind of looks like it has lipstick, and this one here kind of looks like it has a weird eye, but overall, I think it did a really good job. I don't know anybody else that could have made this in a few minutes even. So far, I think this would be a really good one. I'm going to save this for maybe one of our walk-in customers during the holidays, so we'll save that. Now the next one is one of my favorites. This is the one with the snake pattern. We had to generate this maybe twice, but man, it did a really good job. I love the patterns here. Maybe we could have went with more green instead of a black gray color theme. Man, I think this did a really killer job. Look at the back, contracted perfectly. You're not going to see any of the extra white that's going to be around the edges. This is really a good pattern that was made. So we're going to go ahead and print this. I'm going to be matching the snakeskin design with a matching neck tag. I did this in white so that it's going to be going on a black shirt so that you'll be able to see that. Is the next design. Now this one here is probably one of my favorites. We did the dollar bill, kind of like a streetwear design here. I personally like this one really a lot, and think it did good. It has a little bit of a green tint to it, so it really did a good job at mimicking a dollar bill. I love the way that this is stacked up like that. I wouldn't be able to even tell a graphic designer how to create something like this, so I think it did a really phenomenal job on this one. I don't think that I made a neck tag. I must have forgot to make a neck tag on this one, but I am going to be printing that. We did a lunar new year. This is going to be the next one. I think it did a pretty good job, even though this was not a real Chinese character. I think it did a pretty good job at mimicking it, so it didn't look like it was all weird alien language. Decent job. Love the color theme. It wasn't like all white. It kind of added some natural colors to it. I think that this is a really good job. I think you could have fixed it up and vectorized some of the shapes that were on here. For the quickness and the amount of time it to make this, I can't complain. I think that some of our employees actually chose to make this one out of the rest of them, so I'm glad that they like this design, and I'm going to be making a neck tag with the same color red to match that shirt. Now lastly, this is going to be the Lakers theme design that we're going to be printing. I'm actually choosing this as well. We did get a request from one of our employees that wanted this one. He is a Lakers fan. I like this one not only because the colors were pretty good, but it kind of has like a Mamba theme on the top. I didn't even give that a prompt, but it was able to generate that, so I really like that extra look and feel to it. Even these halftone type patterns that are around here kind of reminds me of the city and city lights. So overall, I really like the way that this turned out. Let me know your thoughts, but I think it turned out well as far as the transfers, but we'll see how this looks once we get this on. All right, guys, so for the first blank that we're going to be using, this is the Smart Blanks 402 in white. This is 100% cotton, 4.3 ounces, so it is a very soft, and it's not super thin. To me, what this feels more like of is, I would say, is more comparable to a Next Level 3600 rather than a Gildan. So again, a super soft unisex tee, and it is available in a bunch of colors. So let's go ahead and take a look at the closer specs. So I did have their 2025 catalog, and I was able to mark this exact location because there's so many things that are in this catalog. But this is their 402, and it's available in extra small all the way to your 3XL sizes. Most of these are going to be 100% cotton, but you do have a few that are going to be your 90-10, which is your light heathers as well as your dark heathers. The colors that it comes with is going to be black. You've got your charcoal heather, your heather gray, your cement, your gold, forest, army, white, burgundy, purple, red, baby pink, navy, and royal. So you've got a good amount of colors here both men as well as women are wearing this shirt, so it can be the one blank that you can use for both. And the best part about this, guys, is going to be the price point. You've got your extra small to your extra larges at $287, and then you've got your 2XLs at $317, 2XLs at $317, and your 3XLs at $367. So those are very, very low prices for blanks, especially the larger sizes. You're not going to find those, especially in California, and they are available in Anaheim to pick up, so it's very, very easy to get. Let's go ahead and thread this shirt onto our Prisma heat press. We've done a lot of videos on this. I'm going to go ahead and turn on our laser. We have this already aligned to it. I'm not going to go over the laser or the heat press since you guys have seen it, but it is available on our website in case you guys are interested. Now we're going to go ahead and thread this on our heat press. Now this does have a slide, but I'm not sliding in and out today. I already have it lined up here, and I'm gonna bring this neckline up here, and that's gonna be my 3-inch mark right there. Okay, I'm gonna feel the sides. The side seams are even on both sides, so I am good to go. We're gonna press 300 degrees for 7 seconds. All right, we're gonna go ahead and peel the transfer. You have the option to flip it over to pre-press like this, or for us, we also have a matte finishing sheet which changes the texture and makes it a little bit more matted, like a screen printed feeling. But because this has kind of like a glitter effect, I am not going to do that. I'm just gonna simply flip the film over again. I'm gonna do another press. Look at that. It's beautiful. So we're gonna hit it with a quick neck tag. This is their neck tag. I'm gonna use a heat press pillow just to kind of add it right here to the corner. There's various ways to do this, but this is one quick way if you want to. We have our tape dispenser. With the pillow, it's gonna add an extra padding so that the heat press is gonna be flat enough to actually press this down. It's especially to let these neck tags cool because it has very, very fine details here. So you want to make sure you let it cool before you peel. Let's take a look. All right, so this is the first shirt. Done with this first design. I'm gonna put it on the side, but I will bring this back later so that you guys can compare the textured finish. Next thing that we're gonna do is gonna be their Smart Blanks UH77. So this is their ultra premium blank t-shirt. Very, very thick. It is a 7.7 ounce t-shirt. I think this is a perfect streetwear t-shirt. It looks a little bit boxier than usual. I can't really even compare what this is because Bella, Next Level, they don't really have something this thick from what I understand. Let's take a look at the specs here. We are using both colors. So this is the stone color that I'm going to be using as well for a different design. But this is UH77. This is 7.7. It's their heavyweight. You've got a 1-inch collar, so it's got a thick collar. You've got an oversized fit, as I mentioned, is more boxier than the rest. You've got your side seam, so it's super easy to load. And again, you've got your tearaway label, so this is really easy for you to rebrand. Now, as far as the size, also comes with small all the way to 3XL. Now, as far as the colors, they've got a lot of nice neutral colors I like. You've got your standard black, bone, grunge, latte, laurel, stone, white, your vintage brick, mineral black, vintage dusty blue, space gray, and ash black. Since this is the premium and it is 7.7 ounces, this is not your standard basic cheap tee, but this is not bad either. This starts from your extra small to your extra larges at $5.90, and you've got your 2Xs starting at $7.15. So really not a bad price point for a heavyweight tee. When your customers get a t-shirt like this, they know that they're paying for something good. So I like this, and I've had good feedback with heavy tees. So I'm curious to see how this is not only going to print, but how this is also going to wash. But so far, I like this line of tees that they offer. So let's go ahead and do some pressing. For this one, we're going to be using our marble design that was also through Kittl. I'm going to do a quick crease so I can get that midpoint. Also have the matching neck tag. Let's go ahead and load our shirt up. I like the neckline. That's something that's really different from that other one. The 1-inch is what I personally prefer. Ooh, it looks beautiful. So you start to see the lines. That means that the press has really good pressure rolling through it. I'm not sure if you guys can really tell, but if you look at this corner from this corner right here, I think it's a little bit more visible. It's really hard to see in the camera, but trust me, it is there. For this particular case, because this has a marble effect, again, I am not going to use my matte finishing sheet. I'm just going to use the same sheet, flip it around, and I'm going to go for that second press because marble normally is polished. So I don't want to change the texture look of it. I think this is going to retain that look and look good. Let's pull it out and take a look. From the heat press Teflon, you see the lines that are running through the shirt. That means this is going to last a very, very long time. I love the effect so far. It looks very 3D to me. Let's go ahead and hit the neck tag. Grab the neck tag, peel it off. Since this has very, very small details, I'm going to use a microfiber cloth just to kind of help it cool down and also rub it in place. Trust me, it helps on small details. Right, so let's go and grab this transfer like that, peel it. Look at that. Let's go ahead and do a second prep, flip it around. We'll put this aside. We'll do the next one. This is going to be the same shirt, the UH77, but this is again the stone color. Get it lined up in place. This looks really good. Now I'm going to actually use the matte finishing sheet on this particular job. I don't mind the snake skin having some matte effect to it. Ooh, it looks really, really good. Hard to see textures through the camera, but there is a lot of texture to this. Much cleaner. So you just got to do it with force. Look at that. One of my favorites so far. I think the color is perfect for this. Really nice tag, so premium. All right, let's work the next shirt. Right, the next two that we're gonna be doing is gonna be their staple hoodie, which is going to be their 101. Is going to be a 7.8 ounce hoodie. It is 80/20, 90/10, and 60/40 on the heathers. And it comes from extra small all the way to 3XL. And they do have 4X and 5X in black and white, which is really rare to find. So if you got some of the bigger size dudes that need a distributor that has these sizes, check them out. I don't know the price, but check them out. Now, as far as this hoodie here, it is to me a very, very basic hoodie with your normal drawstring, and it does have metal eyelets on here, which is a nice added feature. But guys, it is a very, very basic hoodie. If you guys need something that is very, very affordable, that has decent quality, but still be able to offer a hoodie into your apparel line without costing an arm and a leg, this one only starts at $9.16. So that is cheap, almost like some t-shirts these days. A 2XL at $10.41 and a 3XL at $11.41. I believe those are the prices. I'm not sure. Open up their wholesale account, check them out. We just did. You guys can see the pricing that's on here. But overall, good basic hoodie. Let's go ahead and get this pressed. Before I even press it on, one thing that you need to do with these is to calibrate your heat press. So I've been doing a lot of t-shirts. Now that I'm doing a hoodie, the pressure is going to be a little bit different. So you want to make sure you compensate for that. If I'm pressing on any of the areas that is raised up, or if I have a print that's this low, I may consider using a heat press pillow. But in this case, this is going to work for what I'm trying to do. So I don't need a heat press. I can't even clamp it down. It is so tight that I do need to release this a little bit. So you want to make sure you clamp it down. I have a meeting of 9, so that means I have heavy pressure going on. It's also pre-pressed, so that helps. Now I'm going to use the finishing sheet here. I'm going to show you quickly. Without the finishing sheet, has a little shine to it. Ooh, it looks good. Almost like screen printed. Very, very clean. Remove the tag. Again, tear away. This one particular, 80/20. I have my heat press pillow still underneath right here. I let everything out. I'm also going to stretch that out like this, as flat as I can get it. I make sure that the pillow's underneath there and the eyelets are as out of place as possible. Not perfect, but you at least don't have this big scrunch right here. Since this is very tiny, I'm gonna use cloth, try to help rub it in. So let's see if this was flat enough and if it sticks. You see that, guys? It did not stick. This is a problem. We're having to deal with a thick hoodie and you've got a neck tag. It is not sticking because it is not flat enough. So I'm gonna still try to make it work. I know this works really easy with t-shirts, but for hoodies, it's a little bit different because you've got this thick hood area that makes it not flat, and it makes it very difficult for heat to actually hit this on a flat surface. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna use a double pad here. I can use a hat press. I'm pretty sure I can get it to transfer using a hat press. I can also use a mini Cricut iron. That will also work, but I'm trying to use a heat press because the heat press has the most pressure, and this is how I know it's going to last a long time. So let's just go ahead and flatten it out. Now, I feel pretty confident here. I know that it is not going to clamp down completely, so I'm gonna go ahead and loosen this just a little bit because of the thickness, but let's try to give it a shot anyways. All right, this feels pretty good now. Now I actually feel the heat. Earlier when I was rubbing it, I didn't feel the heat there. At least I feel the heat. I know that it did make contact to the surface. So let's let that cool down. All right, it transferred. Let's hit it with that second press. There you go. So the trick was 2 heat press pillows. Down, let's do another sweater. Same exact sweater. This is their 101. Same thing for this one. I want the matte finish. Let's go ahead and do the neck tag. Guys, this is my personal favorite. This is their heavyweight 12-ounce hoodie. It is nice and dark black. It doesn't come with a drawstring right here, but again, it is super thick. It has a fleece interior, so I know this is going to be really warm. You've got a nice stretchy band on the bottom right here. Cuffs are not super tight as well. Now this one right here, 8005, 12-ounce, no cord, has a tearaway label, fleece interior, 60-40 combo, cotton polyester, size small all the way to extra large, and it comes with a lot of nice colors. You've got your black, desert, relaxed gray, bone, space gray, stone, vintage dusty blue, vintage sage, ash black. Now this is the black. It's not quite the ash black. I'm kind of curious how the ash black looks, so I may want to try that one next, but overall I really like this one so far. It is heavy, so let's go ahead and compensate for the thickness. Okay, let's go ahead and do a quick pre-press as well as test the pressure. I need to crank the pressure because I had it set for the hoodie earlier. All right, that's good pressure. Just testing out the pre-press. It works. Release. Okay, this is my favorite design. This is the result. Ooh, I love this one. Came out really good. Love the colors. I originally was going to do the neck tag, but I did forget to add a neck tag to this design, but not to worry, I'll do that later on. This is for personal use here. So let me get this one on, and then I'm going to go ahead and show you the rest of the design. This is a large of the heavyweight. I think it looks really good. Look at that, placement's perfect. I think the size is perfect. We went with a 10.5 inch wide here. So I think this is actually a really good design. Let's go ahead and take a look at the others. So this is the other hoodie that we created, and I'm gonna lay it down for you to get a closer look. Look at that. All the little details transferred, even those small dots. I mean, they weren't perfect with the AI, but hey man, this is pretty good. Lakers theme. The next one here, our lunar year. Very clean as well. Got that matted finish. Look at this color combo with the stone color, matching neck tag, textured feel. This is beautiful. The Superstar is actually printed. This is not a knockout, but it's almost identical to this stone color. So it is the perfect color for this design. Now the other UH77 shirt, marble design, also another nice 3D printed. This is impossible to print with screen printing. You have to digitally print this. With DTG, no way you can get this detail and this marble polished look. This is only DTFable. Lastly, our glitter finish, super soft, kind of knocked out on the bottom right here with the white knockout. So it makes it very, very thin. Guys, you guys see me create this design along with the other variations using Kittl's simple restyler tool. Completely amazing to see so many different mock-ups that's available with just a matter of seconds. If you guys have not tried Kittl yet, what are you waiting for? Make sure you guys click the link below. Get 25% off any of the programs while that code is still available. Make sure you guys use that link while it's still there. If you guys don't want to sign up, you guys can still use Kittl for free. You guys just can't do the transparent backgrounds, but play around with it. You guys are gonna fall in love with how easy it is to use. Regarding blanks, if you guys need a blank supplier, make sure you guys check out Smart Blanks, one of the most cost-efficient blanks that's available, especially if you're in the West Coast area. They have pickup available in Anaheim, super easy to get to. I love the blanks and I especially love the price point. And lastly, if you guys need DTF transfers, whether it's regular transfers or UV transfers, you know where to get them. transfersuperstars.com. Submit your orders, have us take a look at it, get your professional transfers in a matter of a few days. My name is Phil. Hope you guys found this video helpful. Make sure you guys give it a thumbs up so that we can start creating other content that's similar to this. And if you guys have any feedback in regards to any of the designs that we created, make sure you drop a comment below because you know we'll be answering. I'll catch you guys on the next one.